Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Legacy of the Duelist Link Evolution. Unlike previous episodes, this time around, we're only deck building. Because I don't have too much time on me, but I do want to put an episode out there. Do not worry, we will have the regular episode next time. I've also been debating how long I want the episodes to be, because sometimes these episodes just go on for way too long, to the point where even I no longer want to watch them past a certain threshold. So, what I believe I'm going to do is, instead of uploading entire chunks, I'm going to upload duel by duel. Now, I'm still going to upload really frequently. You're going to get the same amount of content. It's not going to be less or more. The only difference is that you are going to be seeing more videos. Because it's true, okay? The honest to God fact is that the videos are too long. I know a lot of people don't have time to watch it. But I think if I upload the same amount of videos, then you guys will be in a better case. This also makes it possible to do other things such as shorts, but that's besides the point. It's not the main objective. That's just the byproduct. Why am I increasing this deck? My bad. This deck is not the one I need to do. I need to do the other deck. So what we're going to do is turn this Synchro deck into a Synchro Xyz Hodgepodge deck. In order to do that, we need to take out some cards and put in some other cards. For example, in this case, we don't need Scrap Des Demon, and we definitely don't need, for example, no, Blood Mephist actually can do things. Who do we not need? We do not need Red Demons? No, we do need Red Demons because it stops the wall monsters. This is for when someone thinks in defense and I just can't get over it. So, what we're going to take out, in all honesty, might just be Blood Mephisto, because at this point, Crimson Blader is a better ace monster than Blood Mephist. I played Blood Mephist out of necessity rather than out of a desire to do so. So then from here, we're going to take Casteru, which is one of the best Link Xyz monsters in the game at the current moment. And for the sake of some basic attack points, we're going to also be adding Gorugomu, because he's really strong. Okay, so that gives us 2 Xyz guys. But at the same time, there's a lot of cards that I obtained recently, and I want to see if I can use them or not. Limit Reverse is not a card that I need to use. I don't even know what this does. Setto sareta kono kaado o tefuda ni modosu kouka ga hatsudou shita toki ni hatsudou dekiru. So you can activate this card when there is a card that returns a set card to the hand. Jibun no deki kara kaado o 2枚ドローし、その後手札を1枚選んで捨てる. Interesting card, but I don't think it's going to be something that I use outside of maybe getting hard countered by Brionac. But I already know that Brionac is not the problem card. It is an issue. That's all it is. In addition, back row is now more relevant in the I was about to say the GX era, my apologies, in the Zale era, which in turn means that I need to be more careful with what happens. Oddly enough, that means that I do want to be playing some other cards in here. So, for the sake of simplicity and not boring you to death, what I'm going to do is take out 2 copies of Call the Haunted and replace them with one of these and the other Armored Bee. No, that's not what I want to do. Instead what I'm going to do is take out Scapegoat, maybe? I mean, Scapegoat is a really clutch card, though. Okay, so the problem is that there's so many cards that I don't want to remove from the deck that I can remove depending on the situation. But for now, I think the main deck is fine. Let's just see if we have other things. We don't need this. Whoa. Ring is still cool, but I don't think I'm going to need Ring for a while. Collective Power is not required at all. Starlight Road could be interesting. It could be interesting, but the question is, do I want Starlight Road in the deck? While it was used historically cards such as Dark Hole and Black Rose Dragon stayed quite relevant even into the Xyz era, so it's a bit different. Although I'm pretty sure Dark Hole still appears in the decks regarding the Zexal era, or Zaru if you're a Japanese viewer. What else do I want to see? In addition to this, Soul Taker is a weird card here, because I don't think I'm going to need Soul Taker for the time being. At the same time, it's a card that I really like, so I'm conflicted. Therein lies the problem. I'm quite conflicted in what I want to play, what I want to use. So I want to play Starlight Road, but I don't know what to take out to play Starlight Road. So for the time being, I'm going to remove this and add this. In addition, I'm going to remove a Terraforming and move this into the side deck. The reason for this is because nowadays, in this Accel era that we're in, back row is going to be a bit more dangerous, as there's more versatility in what that back row could be. For example, the next duel in this series is going to be us versus not Shark. I mean, not Shark, not Nash, not the next duel. The duel after Nash is going to be us against the Ura kid, the guy who plays back row, a flip turner in the dub. And the issue with him is that he plays cards such as Gravity Bind. He plays a lot of cards to stop levels, specifically magic and trap cards. Okay, he has One Day of Peace, which kind of brings our deck to its knees in some scenarios. Although we have enough low attack monsters for it to not be a bother. At least to us anyways. And our back row selection isn't the worst. We can deal with back row destruction as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 wipe. And then 3 single or multi-targets. Back row. We also have Black Rose, which is the ultimate field nuke. Black Rose, and now we're playing Castel, which is a card that can stall out the back row if we needed to. Although, I don't wish to use it, as there is a risk involved in doing so. For our Magic lineup, our Magics are still really strong, albeit we could do better. The issue with the no pack rules is that we will be in scenarios wherein the cards at our disposal do not meet up with our necessities. For example, we can't use Tenshi no Horokoshi because it's banned. We can't use Owarashi because it's banned. I could use another Mystical Space Typhoon. Problem is, I don't have a second Mystical Space Typhoon, and therein lies the problem. I wish I was able to use a second one, but I can't. Same goes with something like Kokoro Kawari. I wish I could play this, but I just don't have the cards. Same with Godatsu and a few others. This card is really cool if you think about it. I kind of do want to go back and just get the Divine Grace North Lemko for the Yugioh deck. Not even for the main deck, just the Yugioh deck. I don't even use it either. I just put it in the Yugioh deck for fun. Nah, it's kind of cheap. Okay, so one shot Rocketto, so this is a rally in this case. The only one we can really abuse is this one, except we don't even have the ritual spell for it. This one we do have the ritual spell. No, we don't. Can we use you? Yes, we do have this one. Oops. We have you. No. No. What about you? We do have it, so we can use the 2 Yugi ones at least. Zeta we can't even use. So we can only use these 2 rituals. Problem is, these 2 rituals are not very good. They take up too much hand advantage and don't have any effect to merit their usage. Sure, their attack value is pretty high, but that's not good enough. At least not for the time being. Raikou is a card that saw competitive play in a Lightsworn deck and in the Chaos Dragon deck. Problem is, we do not have enough cards to make a Lightsworn deck, as if we use this for a second, we only have this Lightsworn and no other Lightsworn, according to this. Meaning that, Light Lord. Meaning that we do not have any practical way of using this card. Yubel would be cool, but we don't even have Terror Incarnate. And Das Extremer Taurig Drachen. How do you actually pronounce this in the Japanese version? Inspect, so it is 3? Yes. Das Extreme Torairihi Dorache. You know, we're not summoning that ever, because we don't have the Terror Incarnate, and we're not fighting Yubel for a really long time, so there's even less chance we do it. What do? 相手のこのカードの効果によってこのカードが手札から墓地へ送られたとき、自分は2000ライフポイント回復する。 So wait a minute. So this is telling me that if this card is sent from my hand to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, I gain 2,000 life points. That's not very good. I'm gonna say it. A lot of these cards aren't as good as people think they are. Mashimaron would be unique, and I'll give it that. The problem with Mashimaron is that it requires the opponent to do something. Cards that require the opponent to do something are not very good. I don't even like Mirror Force or Kusutsu no Kakashi. Problem is, I don't have better cards in the repertoire to make use of them. And because of that, I am stuck. For example, I would play Hayasugita My Soul and sent Bolt Hedgehog and Glow Up Ball to the grave. However, since Glow Up Ball is banned and Bolt Hedgehog is not good enough on its own to warrant such a usage, I don't. And that is my issue with this game. The no pack run really limits you in some cases, but it forces you to get creative. And that's something I like. In addition, this is probably the first time I've actually looked at my deck inventory, at my card bag, because it's a kaban, so it's a bag. A card that saw some unique play by me when I first played this game was Hyena. I used Hyena in my real attempt at the original no pack run, which I will never do, which I will never use again. This card is really only good in a 60 card variant, and you could use him in a 40 card variant, but what ends up happening more times than not is you open 2 or your opponent doesn't kill by battle or some other third thing, because at this point the game has progressed so fast that it's not about the battle phase anymore, but rather card effect. Sure, fighting against Yuma, it will be about the battle phase, which is why I still have the Mirror Force in the deck, but a lot of the other enemies do not have very many battle-focused strategies, except for Arito. Arito is weird, though. Arito is the exception, not the rule. We all know he really wants Kotori's cake, if you know what I mean. Neospatians are cool. This art is actually a main deck out to a lot of cards in this game, so I'm going to test it by removing this, and I move this into the side. Because what this does, that very few cards actually do in this era, very well, mind you, is force the opponent into a state wherein, if they have a monster from the extra deck, they are doomed. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, doomed. I think I'm going to add, Neospatian Grand Moru and remove Gekiryu Soul from the deck. This is just a test. I'm not too big on this decision just yet. What else? Is Yuara Teen even good? What do you do? 相手のバトルフェーズ開始時に、okay. 自分フィールド上にモンスターが2体以上存在し、それらのモンスターが1トーンのバトルフェーズ中に戦闘によって全て破壊され墓地へ送られたときに発動できるこのカードを手札から特殊召喚する。So if during the battle phase, 2 or plus my monsters are sent to the graveyard, I can special summon this from the hand. Did I read that correctly? Kaishiji. Okay, I'm going to look up the definition of the word kaishi, because, quite honestly, I can't remember every single word, and sometimes I do need to use a translator for individual words, because, you know, like I said, I'm not fluent in Japanese. I can speak it decently, but not perfectly. And also, I don't have kaishi. What do you mean? Kaishi wa start. So at the start of the battle phase, on my field, if there exists 2 monsters, and those monsters 1トーンのバトルフェーズ中に、so それらのモンスターが1トーンのバトルフェーズ中に戦闘によって全てを破壊される。So they both battle in that battle phase, I believe. Oh, they're both destroy a battle on the start of my battle phase. Wait. That's a weird phrasing. Okay, so This is going to be rather difficult to decipher. If you guys know Japanese, feel free to help me out here. Like I said, I'm not fluent, but I can understand a decent amount. Okay. In essence, there's some stipulation in the start of the battle phase that allows me to summon this from the hand. また、again、このカードで特殊召喚に成功した時に発動する、属性を一つ宣言し、フィールド上の宣言した属性のモンスターをすべて破壊する。このカードがフィールド上に表側表示で存在する限り、相手は宣言した属性のモンスターを特殊召喚できない。Duality. That's quite the unique card, I have to say. Okay? I don't know if it's good or not. Or if I even want to use it. Let me, you know what? Duality. So it's I made it small. Okay, so duality. So it goes the you are the team. Let me look this up. What do you do exactly? Images off. Wow, apparently no one has seen or heard of this card because my search engine doesn't show it anywhere. Oh my gosh. Literally nothing for Duality. Okay. You know what? I'll have to think about it later, but for the time being, I really don't know what it does. Duality. Okay, Duality. It's a unique card, I'll give it that, but I got nothing on what the card does or how it works. I will look it up later, or someone can tell me. That'd be nicer. Turret Warrior is a cool card, but it's not very good. The only reason it is used was because of the story mode. In some instances, you don't always want to use it in your deck. It's not the most practical card, I'll give it that. You know what, though? I believe that I can get away with this. I think I could add second breaker as long as I'm willing to cut this. That puts me at less tuners, but now we have the Xyz mechanic, meaning that we can get away with less tuners. Sin Truth Dragon. I'll admit, getting a Sin card in my collection in Legacy of the Duelist is great because in the vanilla game you can't do it. So I'll give credit to the no pack to the mod and the no pack run. It gives you a bit more options as well. I like how we have all the cult monsters from the South American Nazca line monsters. Let's go! It's fun, whatever. We only have 2 of the Tikaishin, so the temporal machine gods. I don't know what they're called in the English version, I'm not gonna lie. I think they're like Time Lord or something like that. I don't see many people who play that deck legitimately. I've seen the deck in action, but I've never sat down and actually learned how the deck worked. See, because something that's like, grow up the bottom of it. I would like to play this in my deck at one point. The problem, once again, is that it's banned, so I can't use it. Oh, so we do have this one. Kyukyoku Chikaishin Sephiron. We have 3 of them. The ultimate temporal machine god. And herein lies the problem, okay? While it seems as though we have plenty of cards to make plenty of decisions, that's a really cool art for Obelisk, by the way. Actually, this is a really cool art, though. Okay, that's besides the point. While we have plenty of cards of various archetypes to play around with, current moment, we do not have the resources to keep going with it, though. I don't need the word though there. To keep going with them. And now we're up to the vanillas, and these vanillas haven't done anything for me in forever. You know what? I think it would be cruel to not give you at least some semblance of a show in this episode. So what I'm going to do is do the tutorial match. Why? Because I want to. We'll do the tutorial match for Accel and then call it there. Okay, so this would be 3. Let's begin. Srotto Mystic Breaker. Oh, Marin says Shen Cheru. I do admit that playing Marin-Sis in the story mode is actually pretty fun. I've played it a few times in other runs of this game. I think on my Switch, if you look at my total play time, it's in like 500 to 600 hours. But then I've had the game since launch, so that makes sense. And this is one of my favorite games, simply because there's so many options we can play with, and we have so many duels from the show. Sure, we don't get the adventure, but it's also a lot longer, and we get more content here than we do in the base game. Still, Cyber Dragon and Killer Tomato is one of the best openings since GX, effectively. Since Cybernetic Revolution, this is a pretty strong opening. Although some people would say that Cyber Dragon plus Breaker is the best opening, and objectively, in a T-set era format, that is true. That is the better opening. However, it's not the opening that I would particularly claim to be the best. Quite the opposite, actually. I think that opening is really hinging on the fact that you're going second and your opponent has a back row and a monster. Otherwise, you're just overextending. It punishes T-sets for sure, but not much else. Okay. That's fine. I see. Okay. Who's he making? Oh, this guy. Numbers 17. Device. Okay. Device Dragon. Yep, Device Dragon. Pretty strong card, pretty cool effect. Very anime card. Oh shit. I do have to stop that because he's not going for the one I need him to go for. If he went for this one, I wouldn't have stopped it at all. I could have demonstrated it, but I'd rather save this for his anemone guy who just nukes, who just kind of does burn damage over time by attacking directly. It's very similar to Raging Flame Sprite, and arguably is a better card than Raging Flame Sprite. However, Raging Flame Sprite it comes in the deck, so it's the one that I use more often than not, of course. And right now, it's true, I did overextend, which is quite bad for me. Okay, I do deserve to be punished for this one. But, seeing as he doesn't have enough resources in his hand to keep going, it's highly unlikely that that occurs. Okay, so even if that is Mirror Force, say, hypothetically, it's not enough to stop us. Watch. Cyber Dragon Swing. It's Gravity Bind. Oh, crud. I end my turn then. I could have done something now, but I want him to think that I'm literally stuck and can't do anything. Because if I don't, then the AI will probably find a way to move through it, and that's not something I want. And also, I can save the Castell by just using the Cyclone here. And now we can say we won the fight, because Cyber Dragon will swing over at Reginald, and Reginald will be defeated here. Excellent. Excellent indeed. And we got Device Dragon, which I don't really think I can use yet. Oh, I want to know what the Catherine one looks like. You know what? Let's check it out. Card shop. Not doing monster GX 5D. Oh yes, that's a nice art. Requiem mod creator. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed.